This video is a review of the Invanti Tide 2 folding electric bike. I'm going to go over the controls and display, unlock the max speed of 25 miles per hour, test the acceleration, max speed, and brakes, and review the e-bike. The Tide 2 has a 500 watt rear hub motor with a max speed of 25 miles per hour or 40 kilometers per hour. Twist throttle, 48 volt, 10.4 amp hour removable battery with a range of up to 45 miles or 72 kilometers with pedal assist. Front and rear disc brakes, 20 by 3 inch fat tires, headlight, tail light, front suspension, and weighs 60 pounds or 27 kilograms. Additional specs can be found in the description section below.
I'm going to show you how to fold the e-bike. Here is the folding mechanism. You need to pull this lever outwards, and then you have to slide this entire bolt outwards. You cannot fold the frame. You need to pull this up. It's a safety mechanism, and then you can push the frame outwards. It's also nice that there is this guard on the bottom, so when the e-bike touches the ground, it doesn't get scraped. And then over here, the same thing. You need to pull this lever upwards and then pull this bolt down. You cannot fold the stem until you push this to the side, and then this comes down, and then it'll collapse. Let's collapse the e-bike. Pull this down, push this down, and there it is. It saved a lot of space. So let's put it back together. These pedals also fold to save more space. You just push them in and then turn them around. Let's take a look at the controls. On the handlebar, we have the grip here. We have the front brake line. This is the display. There's a reflector. This is the 7-speed rear shifter for the rear derailleur. This is the rear brake lever, the twist throttle, and then another grip. For the display, there's 3 buttons, a plus, a power button, and a minus button. In order to turn this on, make sure that the switch is on the battery, and then you can press and hold the power button until this turns on. We can see the current speed in miles per hour. This is the pedal assist level, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the odometer, and I currently have 3 miles. If we press the power button, it changes from odometer to trip, voltage, and time. It goes back to odometer. If we press and hold the plus button, the headlight turns on. We can see the light icon over here. Let's turn that off. If we press and hold the minus button, it provides a pedestrian walk mode of around 3 miles per hour of pedal assist. If you press and hold the plus button and the power button, you can go to average speed, max speed, or back to the current speed. If we press and hold the plus and minus button, we can go to the settings. P1 is the screen brightness. We can set it from 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to leave it at 2 by default. If we press the power button, we go to P2, and this changes it from miles or kilometers. 0 is kilometers, 1 is miles. Press the power button, we can go to P3, and this is to unlock the max speed. By default, it's 0, and we get 20 miles per hour. With the throttle, if you go to 1, you can get 25 miles per hour. I'm going to leave it at 1 to get 25 miles per hour. For P4, if you press and hold the plus button, it resets the odometer. I currently have 3 miles, but I'm not going to reset it. And then if you press and hold the minus button, it factory resets the display. So you can either wait or press and hold the plus and minus button to go back to the main menu. In order to turn it off, you press and hold the power button. Let's take a look at the battery. In order to remove it, there is a lever on the bottom of the seat post. Let's pull it up and pull the seat up. It came with 2 sets of keys zip tied to the brake line by the frame. We'll put one in here, turn it counterclockwise to loosen it. We can slide the battery up. Looking at the top of the battery, we can see the battery light status indicator. There are 5 LEDs, and right now it's about 80% full. This is the model number of the battery. This is the charging port. There's an on and off switch. The circle is to turn it off. The line is to turn it on. If we remove this piece of rubber, this is the port for the charger. You can put the charger in here and plug it into the outlet. On the charging brick, when it's charging, it'll be red, and when it's fully charged, it'll turn green. These are the contacts. This is the locking mechanism. And then back here, there's nothing. In the front, there's nothing. The controller is right here. There's 4 screws that you can remove to get access to it. Let's put the battery back in. There's 3 grooves right here. We need to put the battery away from the rails until about here. Then we can bring it close and then slide it down into place. Let's turn the key clockwise and take it out. We're going to test the acceleration max speeds in each of the pedal assist levels with the pedaling only and then throttle only. In pedal assist 0, there is no pedal assist. If the battery ever died, you can still pedal, and I don't feel that much resistance in the rear wheel. Pedal assist 1. The motor kicked in. It's still climbing. We're getting about 19 miles per hour of pedal assist. Let's go to pedal assist 2. The motor kicked in. I definitely feel more power. We're getting 20 miles per hour of pedal assist. The max speed could have gone higher if I pedaled faster, but I wanted to keep the same cadence. Pedal assist 3. The motor kicked in. It says 25 miles per hour before the motor shut off on this display. And that's as high as it's going to go. Now I'm going to try the throttle only in pedal assist 0. This says we're getting 25 miles per hour. This one says 24, 22. It doesn't seem very accurate, so I don't know which one to believe. Because the throttle worked in pedal assist 0, it's going to work the same in 1 through 3. I'm just going to compare it with 3. This is we're hitting 25. This is 23, 22. I'm going to test the brakes. I'm going to hit the max speed of 20 miles per hour, then slam on the brakes to see how soon it stops. 25 miles per hour at this first orange cone. And I stopped right before the second cone. That's about 15 feet. Let's test the suspension. The front has a non-adjustable fork. The rear doesn't have anything, but it did come with a seat post that had a built-in shock. I did not put that in. I didn't have any issues with the front fork. It took all these bumps with ease. Moving on to the review of the Invanti Tide 2 e-bike, what I like most about this e-bike is that it feels very powerful for its size. It's advertised to have a max speed of 20 miles per hour, but through the settings, you can lock it to go 25 miles per hour. Because it's relatively lightweight for a folding e-bike, it's 60 0.6 pounds. The tires are not fully fat tire. They're 20 by 3 inch. The rear motor is 500 watts with 50 to 55 Newton meters of torque, and it has a peak wattage of 900 watts. It just feels very quick for its size. There's front and rear 160 millimeter cable pull disc brakes, which helps with the stopping, and it has a load capacity of 330 pounds. It's also nice that it's folding, so it takes a very small footprint. You can put this in the back of your car, you can fit this in your garage, and it won't take up too much space. There is a non-adjustable front shock, and then for the rear, it came with a seat post that had a built-in spring so that it could dampen some of the impact on the rear. For the derailleur in the rear, which helps for hill climbing, and there's a headlight and a tail light so that you can ride in the dark and people behind you know when you're stopping. The rear battery is removable. There's a lever on the back of the rear seat that folds down, and then you can put your key in here to pull the battery upwards. That way you can bring the battery with you to charge inside your office or house, and you can leave the bike in the garage or somewhere else. And then you don't have to lug it up flights of stairs. In terms of suggestions, it would have been nice if there was hydraulic disc brakes, but that would have cost more money. And then the components are pretty basic. The crankset is pretty generic, and then the rear has a Shimano Tourney 7-speed derailleur, and that's on the low end of the hierarchy, but for this e-bike, you don't really need the best shifter, and you can always upgrade to hydraulic disc brakes or change the rear derailleur or a crankset. If you're interested in a folding e-bike that can go 25 miles per hour, you can check this one out. It's currently $660. A link to the latest pricing is in the description section below. Please like this video if you found it helpful. Feel free to leave questions and comments in the comment section below. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.